Inside the tower, old John on the side looked at Xiao Yan, who was still absorbing, but he didn't show much surprise. It seemed that this kind of situation had long been commonplace, but old John was still a little curious about what level Xiao Yan could break through. But the situation outside the tower is very different. Outside of Xiao Yan's house, no one from the entire Xiao family left on this day. At the beginning, everyone didn't speak, held their breath, and stared at Xiao Yan's house. But as the minutes and seconds passed, there was gradually a little voice. There is still an hour. I don't know whose voice this voice is, but everyone understands what it means. Quiet, surprisingly quiet. In the 20th day, no one thought that the kid in front of him could break the 30-day record set by his ancestor, but he just thought Xiao Yan was very good, and the first practice could reach 20 days. In the 29th day, everyone began to look forward to it, and the record was in front of him. Can this kid break through? Many people even prayed for Xiao Yan in their hearts. After all, it was a quick thing to see the birth of a miracle. When they felt the dissipation of their breath before, most people sighed and regretted, but when the energy condensed again into energy and light poured into the room, almost everyone rekindled hope. Except for the energy and light bars that frantically poured into the room, almost everything was still, except for the thicker and thicker breaths of everyone. There's still half an hour. The breathing became thicker. There are 10 minutes left. Many people began to lean their necks stiffly. Their eyes widened, and even their mouths opened slightly, staring at Xiao Yan's room and the energy light bar that hadn't stopped pouring in at all. 5 minutes, 1 minute. The energy has not stopped. Time is up. Thunderous cheers broke out instantly outside the house. 30 days. It's been a month. This kid really broke the record. At the moment the record was broken, countless people outside the house were cheering and shouting. With the cheers of everyone, it seemed that the entire Xiao clan space was trembling because of this. Everyone was remembering that it had been more than an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. After tens of thousands of years, someone finally broke the record, and the Xiao clan was boiling up and down. Did this kid really break the record? What a monster. Yes, no wonder it is a blessing to be able to advance to the fighting emperor in a vindictive continent without the source of the emperor. I'm afraid it's not comparable to Shao Qi and Xiao Yong, who are ranked first and second in the clan. Among the Xiao people, various discussions suddenly broke out about midterm one-star emperor. Almost all the elders felt the breath that suddenly became stronger the moment Xiao Yan broke through the record. Suddenly, their expressions became a little sluggish, and they immediately became excited again. One by one, the old figures seemed to tremble a little. After the ancestor, there was another, such a wicked genius in the clan, the blessing of the Xiao family. At this time, there was more expectation in the eyes of the elders. Xiao Yan, what kind of state will this cultivation eventually reach? Several figures still appeared in the crowd, and after hearing the words of the one-star emperor in the mouths of the elders, the bodies of several figures were also slightly shaken. Surpassed? Is it really beyond? Entered the middle stage of the one-star emperor? They couldn't believe it, but the truth was in front of them. I caught up with myself the first time I practiced, and with such a wicked talent, I have been able to pay it off since then. A cold light flashed in the eyes of several young people. They who had been trained in the original clan might have changed due to Xiao Yan's appearance. Naturally, everyone was extremely dissatisfied, but they didn't dare to disagree. The original disdain for Xiao Yan has gradually changed into shock and dissatisfaction, but there is also some admiration in his heart. No one in the Xiao family present did not admire, because Xiao Yan, a newborn fighting emperor, had surpassed a boundary that could not be crossed for tens of thousands of years. This was not something they could compare. Xiao Li, who was standing high, showed an intriguing smile at the corner of his mouth. Xiao Yan, unsurprisingly, he will inevitably become an extremely important figure among the Xiao clan in the future. Xiao Yan's breaking of this record today not only means that another peerless genius has appeared in the Xiao clan, but more importantly, if it is focused on training, this genius may really be able to break the balance of the empire and change the situation where the 5 major forces are now standing. It will even lead the Xiao clan to create unprecedented glory. The appearance of Xiao Yan will probably change the fate of the entire Xiao clan. Xiao Li's fists also clenched. Seeing the influx of energy and light bars that did not stop in front of him, Xiao Li immediately woke up from the excitement in his heart and drank in a deep voice. Be quiet. Xiao Yan's cultivation is not over yet. The voice was not loud, but it was majestic, and the warm and noisy discussion just now stopped instantly. Everyone reacted. Yes, Xiao Yan's cultivation is not over yet. They suppressed the excitement just now and looked at Xiao Yan's room intently again. The original boring waiting has now been transformed into a kind of expectation that makes people's blood boil. Everyone is extremely eager to know. Xiao Yan, how long will he practice? What level will Xiao Yan advance to after the cultivation is over? The sound of energy shuttling through space is endless, and a trace of it flows into Xiao Yan's body. A huge energy vortex centered on Xiao Yan is looming. The energy in the tower seems to be driven by this huge energy vortex. The vindictive vortex in Xiao Yan's body also resonates with the surrounding energy, which is slightly brilliant. The scene is surrounded by the golden pagoda. When the different fire was quenching the absorbed emperor's source chi, a faint light yellow flame also faintly appeared in the different fire. Such signs naturally could not escape Xiao Yan's observation. Although it was only a faint flame, Xiao Yan could clearly feel that in this light yellow flame, there was an extremely terrifying kind of flame. Xiao Yan carefully observed that among the colorful different fires composed of 22 different fires, a trace of light yellow flame appeared in each different fire. And this trace of light yellow flame was constantly produced with the inhalation of the emperor's source chi and then converged into a strand. There's a faint ancient aura in the flame. It seemed to be summoning something. With the continuous inhalation of the source of the emperor's chi, this light yellow flame, filled with tyrannical aura, had been divided into several strands, slowly swirling in the strange fire. After the original colorful emperor's source, chi passed through the yellowish flame in the strange fire. The impurities disappeared cleanly in an instant, and the pure energy poured into the vindictive vortex in Xiao Yan's dantian again, and Xiao Yan's aura slowly increased. As Xiao Yan kept absorbing, the surrounding energy had begun to show signs of gradually dissipating. Xiao Yan also felt such signs. Xiao Yan knew that this time I was afraid it was really coming to an end. Time passed slowly, and extremely tyrannical energy burst out of Xiao Yan's body. The energy that was originally filled with energy had been absorbed by Xiao Yan at this time, and the terrifying power that exploded in Xiao Yan's body suddenly exploded from Xiao Yan's body, rippling away in circles. Broke through. After more than a month of cultivation, it was finally not in vain. A mouthful of pale, yellowish-white chi slowly exhaled from Xiao Yan's mouth. With the end of the cultivation, Xiao Yan's tight heart slowly relaxed, and his soul fell into a daze, and he immediately retreated from the cultivation state. In the spacious chi refining layer, Xiao Yan slowly opened his eyes, and between his dark eyes, a faint light yellow light flashed past. Xiao Yan raised his head slightly and glanced at the two people in the chi refining layer. His dark eyes suddenly became deeper and clearer. What a powerful force! Is this the midterm of the one-star emperor? Is it still mid-level and advanced? Sure enough, it is not comparable in the early days. At this moment, Xiao Yan no longer had any objections to Zhang Lao. Such a result really surprised him, and several different fires in his body showed signs of fusion. If it weren't for Zhang Lao's reminder, I'm afraid I would really miss this great opportunity for cultivation. Thank you very much. Xiao Yan slowly turned around and looked at Zhang Lao in the distance and thanked him. At this time, he was like the young man who didn't understand anything in Yuten City, but Zhang Lao was like the old medicine man at that time, pointing and taking care of everything for himself. Old John smiled softly at Xiao Yan with wrinkled cheeks, waved his hand and said, "It's just a little effort. How long have I been practicing?" Xiao Yan frowned slightly, turned his head, and asked again. 1.5 months To be precise, 45 days. Old John replied softly, I actually practiced for so long, in a wonder. With a muttered sound, Xiao Yan was secretly a little happy in his heart. After only practicing for more than a month, he reached the advanced stage of the mid-stage of the one-star emperor. If it were placed in the outside world, I am afraid that there would be no hundreds of years of hard work. It is impossible to make a decision. Looking at the vast qi refining layer, Xiao Yan couldn't help but purse his mouth, and then murmured to himself, This, Zichen Su Lingta, really has infinite mysteries. If this cultivation is not in the tower, even if it is the first cultivation of duty, even if it has been cultivated for a month and a half, at most it has just broken through to the mid-stage of the one-star duty. It is absolutely impossible to reach the mid-stage and advanced level of the one-star duty. Xiao Yan could clearly feel that the energy that was sucked and pulled seemed to have been tempered by an inexplicable energy in the tower, and the effect was naturally greatly improved. With a deep sigh of admiration, he immediately looked at a light path in the middle of the tower. Obviously, this ray of light should have entered the second floor. Feeling that the first layer had such benefits, Xiao Yan couldn't help but want to enter the second layer to see, and his heart suddenly rippled. Just when Xiao Yan wanted to go, old Zhan's voice sounded behind Xiao Yan. Hey boy, don't be too greedy. Although you're now qualified to enter, you have to send the people outside your house first. Let's talk about it. If your cultivation stops, they will most likely not be able to help rushing in. If the tower is discovered by them, it will not be of any benefit to you. Listening to the words coming from behind, Xiao Yan was slightly startled. Outside the house? Obviously, Xiao Yan didn't know anything about the situation outside. He turned around and looked at two figures in the distance. One was old Zhan, and the other was Long Yi, who had recovered. Xiao Yan nodded, walked towards Long Yi, looked at Long Yi, who had recovered, smiled, turned around and thanked old Zhan, and was about to turn around and go out, when he suddenly stopped, as if he had thought of something.